thanks for joining me again. So we have the weekly challenge from Nail Vanity Acrylic Systems on their support page on Facebook. I have popped a link into that support page. It's a great place to be. Come and join us. As you can see, I'm a beginner, but I have a go anyway. I have a go. And this week was sweet treats. That was our challenge. Please excuse the noise of my washing machine in the background. So Nail Vanity Acrylic is what I'm using today on my practice hand. That's called Mint. I make a right hash of this first application, but I've left it in because, you know, I'm new and it's good to see that sometimes we do cock up. But yeah, it comes right in the end, but what a mess, what an application mess. So anyway, faffing and fanning around as usual. So on with the cool Mint. These colours are so beautiful. This is from the Pastels collection. See, really, when I placed that first bead and it didn't sit, I should have just taken it off. But no, won't be beaten. So I'm just tucking my brush behind the acrylic to try and get it in nicely into those cuticles. Cocked up a bit, used my own nail. Yeah, pretty. You wait to see how lumpy this nail is. But it is going to be covered with mini donuts, so, you know, hey, we file it to something that resembles a nail. These challenges, there are all sorts of entries. This is what I'm trying to say. They're fabulous. I mean, really, really good. And then there's new people like me, but it's so encouraging. Everybody helps one another. It's lovely. It's such a nice place to be. The Nail Vanity support group on Facebook. There's a link in the description. Do go and have a look. It is fab. I love it. I love that place. There's no nastiness, no cattiness. Everybody's so supportive. And we have a laugh, we have good fun. These weekly challenges have really sort of made me step out my comfort zone. But I've never been faced with anything but support. It's lovely. You know, I'm only qualified in March this year, and I'm nearly 50 years old. I'm a foot health practitioner by trade. Oh, here we go. Another new colour that I really should. I don't know what I was thinking. I wasn't thinking. That's the thing. I wasn't thinking. I wasn't going to do an ombre or a fade. I was just going to do full Mint, but I really want the things that I put on top to pop, so I decided I needed a bit more pigment. The pastel's beautiful. I mean, this isn't even how you do an ombre, Amanda, for goodness sake. You don't create a nice line like that, you fade it up. Oh, yeah, I am. But it still looks awful because by that time it started to set because I fan it around too much. But the final outcome isn't too bad. It's just, you know, frustrating to see me when I know better. But we all have moments like that, don't we? For goodness sake. This is painful to watch. Painful. Oh well. I'm only human. Yes, this, all the products I'm using today, and you can see that they are really nice to work with. It's just me being a tit. They're all nail vanity, including the brush and the monomer. Monomer is hema free and it's low odour. My other half doesn't like the smell of monomer, and because I work from home with this, you know, got to play the game, haven't you? Got to play fair. And actually, hema free. I try and make all my products hema free, so all the gels that I use are hema free. They're nail vanity as well. And they're beautiful. The gels are beautiful. You can paint with them, you know, do your nail art with them. They're very pigmented. They're fantastic. Never had a problem with them. And here I go, trying to fix this almighty cock up of a nail. I mean, look, what am I doing? What am I doing? I'm creating a monster. This is by no means a tutorial, especially this nail. This is a how not to. I hadn't planned what I was doing with this nail, and I think, you know, lesson learned really. Plan ahead, man. Come on, don't wing it. It's not working. Oh really, just stop. It's just not getting any better. So I'm sitting here, it's Wednesday morning, and I've got a new autoclave coming, so I'm hoping that I get all of this voiceover done before TNT knock my door, because the dog's going to go ballistic. It's bad enough with the washing machine in the background and my phone pinging. Look at that colour, how pigmented is that? Isn't that beautiful? Oh, I do love an orange. Let me find out what it's called. Hang on. So, she says, with no glasses on. Hang on. Sunrise, that is sunrise. And the green, Slimer. And mint to be. But look at that, that's so pigmented, it's beautiful. I really look forward to these challenges because it makes you do something that you wouldn't necessarily wear, but it kind of, well, I wouldn't wear, but it takes you out of your comfort zone, but lets your creativity go wild, because they're not something you're sending someone home with. So the brush I'm using is the Acrylic Nail Vanity brush. It's number 10. And it's my go-to. Now ordinarily, if I was applying these colours on somebody's hand, obviously I would be capping them, but because this is just for photographs and not for wear and tear, I don't. Stray hair there. and the heat in the house, because it's quite warm, was making this set very, very quickly. But you can see I can still move it around. It does need a sort of backup file, shall we say, but it still moves very nicely using the belly of the brush. And you could see that when I was in shot. There we go. So the nice TNT guys have given me a delivery slot of between 9 and 5. So I'm going to be doing lots of nails today. Can't book anyone in because, you know, I don't know whether they're coming to set it up or whether I'm setting it up. I just don't know. My autoclave went bang, and it's not something my business can do without, so this is the rim of an ice cream cone. And for that I'm using a core colour, a new one to me called Innocent, and actually it's beautiful. Innocence. Figuring out where this is all going. I'm quite excited by this because I get to do something that I've been dying to do, which you'll see shortly. Just building that cone up because I want it to sit proud of the nail. So I'm using I've switched brushes now. I'm using the Nail Vanity 3D brush, which is fabulous. I don't know what I would have done without that brush. So many times now. It just helps you keep your shape nice, helps you pick up just the right amount of acrylic, helps you mould things into particular shapes, whatever it is you're doing. And it's got a nice sort of, you know, to get into the crevices. Perfect. So here I am trying to make the point of the cone, bring it down into the point, sort of try and match with the point of the nails slightly, not ever so precisely, because this is just a fun nail, but that's what I had in mind when I was doing it. I wanted it to sort of sit well with that. Now you leave that set but not completely set, and I come in with one of my foot house tools, actually, a scalpel blade. Very carefully I score the cone to give it some markings, the marcation. if you are going to do this, please be careful. It may be, I work with scalpels every day. I would advise you perhaps pop a handle on there, and maybe not use your hand behind the finger to steady it while you're doing this. But like I say, I work with scalpels every single day. Just be careful, guys, just be really careful. There we go. You can't see them yet, but what I'm going to do is get a contrasting colour, pop my lid back on there, and scrub that colour into those lines. Now the colour I chose was rosy, which has a very fine glitter. It's like a rose gold colour. Really, I would have liked something that wasn't glitter, in hindsight. But it worked quite well. It did work quite well, and I pick it up quite wet and I scrub it in because I need it to disappear down those lines I've just made. See, I'm not draining the brush off, I'm just getting a very wet bead and scrubbing it into all the grooves. And all of this will be filed off, just revealing some lines. So, you know, defining a little cone, I suppose. Now this is my first time ever doing this technique, and yeah, in hindsight perhaps not the glitter, but even so I was quite pleased. It's not 100% perfect, but it shows texture, and that's what I wanted. So again, I'm just scrubbing it in, pushing it down those lines, hoping that, you know, when we come to file, something will be left. Give my brush a good clean. Got to look after your brushes, guys. If you clean them as you go. There we are, look. So you can't see any of the lines really. Let's give that a file. And it's only a fine file I'm using. I think it's 180-240. Oh no, I've switched to a harsher one. That's 100. Just to give me a head start, I think, to get rid of some of the bulk. Brutal. Look at that, ripping the poor girl's nail off. But I don't do that in real life. It's because it's not attached. So, peach sorbet, lemon sorbet, and baby girl. They're going to be forming the ice cream balls. But you can see there's some lines in that cone, some texture, and that's what we want. I didn't want to play with these too much because, you know, when you put a ball down, if you put your 3D art brush into the acrylic powder with your brush vertical, you pick up a perfect little board, which is great when you're doing things like this. So I didn't want to play with them too much because they do look like little scoops. And I thought, do I put a drop there? Don't I put a drop there? Drop of ice cream? I didn't, but then when I came back, when I'd finished all 3 scoops, I did, and I was so glad I did. It just makes it. So there you go. Look. Camera does focus in a minute. I've tried to zoom in so you can see exactly what I'm doing. So using just the very edge and feather touch just to push that into the shape I want it to be. Giving some definition between them. Ends up looking a little bit like a cleavage, but it doesn't when I've finished. There we go. I am sorry about the focus. I hope it's enough for you to see what I'm doing there. I just keep popping in and out. It's because I'm using a camera, not a phone. Because I have my foot health business as well as the nails. If I was to use my phone, it would forever be going off. So I use an actual camera. They're looking good. Looks like an ice cream. Can you see the lines? You can just see the lines in that and the texture in that cone now as well. I was really chuffed with that. Here we go. I'm going to pop a little drop. Shape it into a drop shape. I overthought this a little bit too much, I think. But we do, don't we? Now I decide later on, although I love the colours of the ice cream there, the pastels are beautiful, I add some gel polish. More because I was going to top coat it anyway, but I kind of do a very subtle marble, so it's a little like a ripple, but it gives the ice cream a nice sheen. Although you can't see what I'm doing here, I'm making donuts. So I've popped a ball of acrylic and I'm just separating the middle so there's a clear defined hole, and I'm trying to keep it nice and rounded. I've left the top with a bit of texture on that one. But I didn't with the others, I don't really know why. Anyway. So I've sped this up now because otherwise this video is going to be incredibly long. And you can see the basics of what I'm doing. I'm popping a bead down, poking a hole in the middle, shaping it to make it look like a donut, and away we go. A couple of half donuts. These also get gel painted, so it's like a little glaze, you know, a bit of nice icing on top, a few sprinkles. I love this colour. I need to go and get this. Which one's this? Let me have a look. So that is cerise, and the purple is hot purple. Again, wow. So pigmented, so beautiful, look at that. And here, just in the very corner of the screen, sorry about that, but I am making a sweet lollipop. Wasn't perfect, but it is little segments of blue and a lighter blue. I will get the colours for you in a second. Just in a little wheel. Bear with me. So the darker blue is azure, and the lighter blue is little boy blue. Again, all nail vanity. That's a squeaky chair, by the way. I promise you it's just a squeaky chair. So I'm doing this on the back of you know, forms, when you take the sticky off, you take your sticky form off, you're left with the backing paper, aren't you? Well, I do my 3D acrylic work on the backs of them because your acrylic you can move it around and it won't permanently stick. So it sticks a little while it's wet, and then when it's starting to set, you can move it off. Do you see what I mean about that acrylic brush? You can just get into all the nooks and crannies, and it's fab. Slightly off camera, sorry. There we go, back in again. And I leave that to set. So that's my little head of the lollipop. Now I'm making the lollipop stick. So a little blob of acrylic and just move it along, making nice straight sides, nothing too thick, because lollipops are not thick, are they? Try and keeping it nice and straight, which is exactly what this brush does. It's just so good. 3D acrylic brush, fantastic. Thank you, Nail Vanity. There we are. So I leave those to set. I've now stuck it on, as you can see, and I am starting to glaze my donuts. Again, this is all Nail Vanity gel, and I'm using the liner art brushes from Nail Vanity as well. How pigmented are they? Considering this is just one coat, that is fantastic. Look at that. And you can start to see what they're meant to be. I do pop some sprinkles on, because, you know, what's life without a sprinkle? And I marble a couple of them as well, so that, you know, again, a bit of a ripple. There we go, that's the one that I've marbled. So again, nail vanity gels. They're so pigmented that you can actually do your nail art with them, and that's exactly what I'm doing. And there's your finished article. I didn't film the last one because my battery was dying on my camera. Do check out the Facebook page. It is fantastic. Join in the competitions, and I don't know why it's upside down, but it is. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, drop me a like, drop me a comment. There's a cheeky discount in the descriptions. Thank you.